Buckle up, folks. Saturday Night Live's Weekend Update just unleashed a barrage of hilarious yet biting roasts on some of the wildest political missteps lately, and it's got the internet buzzing with outrage and laughs in equal measure. If you're tired of the same old news cycle, this segment dives into the absurdity of conspiracy theories and partisan blame games, showing how comedy can cut through the chaos. But here's where it gets controversial. Are these jokes fair game, or do they risk trivializing serious issues? Stick around, because we're about to break it all down, and trust me, this is the part most people miss. The way satire mirrors real-world divisions. Saturday Night Live's iconic Weekend Update tackled a slew of hot-button topics this time around. From Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s outlandish claims to Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem's eyebrow-raising tactics during the government shutdown. Let's start with RFK Jr., that outspoken advocate who stirred up plenty of debate with his views on vaccines and public health. Co-anchor Colin Jost zeroed in on a fresh conspiracy. RFK Jr. reportedly suggested that men who undergo circumcision are more prone to autism. For beginners trying to wrap their heads around this, circumcision is a common medical procedure, but linking it directly to autism, a neurodevelopmental condition with complex causes involving genetics and environment, stretches scientific credibility to its limits. Jost didn't hold back, quipping that this idea isn't shocking from a man who looks like he's made out of foreskin. It's a sharp jab at RFK Jr.'s history of promoting vaccine misinformation, like his assertions that Tylenol could contribute to autism or that mRNA vaccines are harmful. Imagine the confusion this sparks. On one hand, he's in a position of power influencing health policy. On the other, such claims fly in the face of peer-reviewed studies. Controversy alert. Do these theories deserve a platform in government, or should they be debunked outright? It's a debate that's split opinion, with some seeing it as free speech gone awry. Shifting gears, Jost turned his wit to Kristi Noem, who's been under fire for her role in the government shutdown. Under Republican control in the Senate, House, and with a GOP president, Noem's been pushing a narrative that Democrats are to blame by forcing airline passengers at TSA checkpoints to watch a video making this case. But here's the kicker. The clip opens with the chilling line from the fictional horror villain Jigsaw, "I want to play a game," a reference to the Saw franchise where victims are trapped in deadly puzzles. It's a bizarre choice, and one that raises questions about accountability. For those new to this, a government shutdown means essential services can grind to a halt, affecting millions, and pinning it on the opposition party amid unified Republican leadership feels like a stretch. Is this clever messaging or manipulative theater? And this is the part most people miss: how such tactics might erode trust in institutions by blurring lines between politics and entertainment. Weekend Update didn't stop there. They dipped into the Treasury Department's latest eyebrow raiser, which skirts the edges of legality. As Michael Che announced, plans are underway for a silver dollar featuring President Trump's face on one side, and on the flip, the abolitionist Harriet Tubman in what looks like a headlock. This is a nod to an old idea from 2016 under Secretary Jack Lew to replace Andrew Jackson on the $20 bill with Tubman, honoring her courageous work rescuing enslaved people through the Underground Railroad. But with timelines pushing to at least 2030, this coin concept feels symbolic yet divisive. For context, Tubman represents resilience and freedom, while Trump's image could polarize. Imagine carrying currency that mixes historical reverence with modern politics. Controversy brewing. Does this honor heroes or exploit them for political gain? It's a subtle counterpoint to the shutdown drama, highlighting how even commemorative items can become battlegrounds. Jost kept the momentum with a swipe at Trump's declarations, including axing Indigenous Peoples Day and dubbing Christopher Columbus as America's original hero. Columbus, the explorer who sailed to the Americas in 1492, is credited with opening the New World to European colonization. But his legacy is fraught with criticism for the mistreatment of indigenous peoples and the transatlantic slave trade. Jost twisted this into a punchline. So while Trump is rounding up people with ICE, he is praising Columbus, a guy who literally brought boatloads of Hispanics to America. This ties into immigration debates, where ICE enforces border policies, and Columbus's voyages introduced complex cultural exchanges, yet often at enormous human cost. For beginners, Indigenous Peoples Day shifts focus from Columbus Day to celebrate Native American contributions, so reversing it feels contentious. But here's where it gets really provocative. Is celebrating Columbus about honoring exploration or ignoring the genocide and displacement that followed? And this is the part most people miss. The irony of praising figures tied to forced migrations while cracking down on immigration today. To wrap it up on a high note, the segment featured a fun joke-off among current anchors Jost and Che, plus reuniting legends Tina Fey, Seth Meyers, and Amy Poehler, who was hosting SNL that weekend. It was a nostalgic throwback, blending sharp political barbs with pure comedic energy. Woo! What a whirlwind! SNL's Weekend Update doesn't just entertain, it provokes thought about where politics, misinformation, and media intersect. But let's spark some discussion. Do you think these roasts are spot-on critiques of power, or do they unfairly caricature public figures? Should comedy platforms like this tackle controversies head-on, or stay neutral? And here's a controversial twist. What if RFK Jr.'s ideas, though debunked, inspire needed scrutiny of medical practices? Share your agreements, disagreements, or wild takes in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you.